Pleasant day, everyone. Hi, my name is TA Sam, your speaker for today's demo. I have been an English TA for 3 months, and so far I can say that I have gained a lot of things from this course as to how I can improve as a TA and what actions should be done in certain situations that I may encounter as I continue doing this work. Starting up for the first theme, which is classroom involvement based, this is what I picked. During group discussions, if students are hindered by differences in language use or language barriers, how should TA deal with this problem? So, here is a dialogue for the scenario I have imagined. Reading the dialogue, here is how I plan to help the students in need of assistance. So, if some of the students are scared of speaking and think that they are not perfect enough, we can advise them to do their best in answering the question first. Fixing the grammar comes in later. So here, let me read a response of the TA. Try to practice answering some questions by writing it down regardless of the grammar. After writing it all down, you can ask me for help in fixing the grammar structure or use apps such as ChatGPT, Grammarly, or Quillbot. Then, you can practice speaking so you'll be able to explain whatever you want tomorrow. Now that's already clear, how about the problems in letting the students comprehend what you are saying? Language barrier doesn't just hinder your way of speaking, it also hinders your understanding. So, I suggest in explaining things to these students, easy words should be used, and as time passes, help them feel some words in their vocabulary. Gestures while speaking are also a very great help for the students to understand your explanation clearly. Moving on to the next theme, which is administrative based, the scenario I chose is if 1 or 2 days before the deadline for homework submission, the student informs TA that he has not seen the notice and cannot submit it on time. How should TA deal with this situation? This one is a kind of tricky for me as I haven't experienced this before. Most of the students I have encountered usually don't care whether they pass their homeworks on time, but hopefully there are still students who value punctuality. My personal experience as a TA doesn't require me to give grades to students, so in this scenario, my help can only be limited to letting them ask for consideration. Now, whether the teacher still considers their submitted work after the deadline is not something the TA can be certain with. But as a TA, it is one of our jobs to make sure that everyone gets notified about the subject matters. If such a situation happens, let it also be a reminder for the TAs to help the students be notified of the subject affairs. So for the last theme, which is technical issue-based, the scenario I picked is, when conducting remote or distance teaching, how can the TA assist in verifying students' actual participation in the paper? So, back in 2020, I was able to experience the hardships of distance learning for students. Thinking about it, it wasn't just the learners who are having a hard time, but also the teachers. And now, as a teaching assistant, one of my responsibilities is to ensure that everyone is participating regardless of the distance. So, here is a brief scenario that I have in mind and also what I've learned from this course. It would be better to separate the whole class into smaller sections in order for the TAs to get a grasp of the students. After every topic has been taken down, asking questions about what they learned from here and there can also help bring back the students' attention in the class. Still, with this method, it will still be hard to manage the whole class, right? So, I recommend lengthen your patience for everyone and always remember that if you're having it hard, these students may also be having it hard. Either way, make sure that as a TA, the students will still be able to reach you when they are in need of your help. So that's it for my demonstration. It was a good experience for me as a beginner teaching assistant. Hopefully I will be successful in using all the things I have learned here in my work as I continue becoming a teaching assistant. And thank you everyone for listening. Thanks very much.